This is the rainforest they had to get through when they decided to look for oil on Salawati, a sweltering island just off the western tip of New Guinea. Miles of jungle and swamp. Impossible, one would have said, or nearly so. At least that's what they must have thought, as they slashed their way through to make a clearing about 15 miles inland. There's the clearing they made down there. Looks all right from up here, but it was all they could do to get themselves and a few essentials there on foot. The engineers didn't recommend a road through all that mush, so it was decided to try moving everything in by helicopter, people, drilling machinery and all. This was the first time such a thing had been tried. It was all a bit of an experiment. They'd marked where to begin drilling with a peg. The Papuans call the place Waipili. The other end of the airlift, 15 miles away, was on the coast near a kampong called Lema. We made a base there for our 2 helicopters where we could refuel and maintain them. All our stuff had to be barged over from Sarong on the mainland. Altogether, our 2 machines would have to lift 185,000 kilos, or say 185 tons, in 5 weeks. Our maximum load was 600 kilos, so everything had to be broken down into small loads. All we had to do was to move a helicopter over to the barge, hover while they hooked on a load, and fly off on a half-hour trip to Waipili. Looks easy, till something goes wrong.
Hallo Waipili hier. Lena, over.
Hallo Lena, hier Waipili, over.
Eerste vrachthuisraad is onderweg, over.
Prima.
Just who was going to sit in them we never knew, because drilling was slated to start in less than 5 weeks. The first job was to clear the site for the foundations of the derrick. And all the time, of course, we were shuttling stuff in. We reckoned we'd have to make 345 flights all told before everything was ready to begin drilling. Ice boxes, roofing material, first aid kit, food, tools, tin tacks. Steel columns and safety pins. We ferried in the lot. As soon as they'd got the foundations in, we could begin on the really heavy stuff. The drawworks and the swivel. Tongs, valves, stringers and beams. Slush pumps, generators and diesels. Everything was arranged, by the way, so that the stuff could be delivered to site in the order they wanted it in. And so it went on, day after day. Lena to Waipili and back again. And every so often, another barge load. The heaviest load of the lot was the drawworks, on which the whole job depended. They couldn't lighten it below 640 kilos, 40 kilos over par. So we tackled it early one morning when the air was cool. Cool air is relatively dense, you see, and gives just that little bit of extra lift. Aha, out of balance. Back and start again. It doesn't look too bad from down there, I know, but it was a brute of a job, even though we had emergency landing grounds all the way along. At Waipili, they were getting the platform ready to receive us, while I was humping the thing over the treetops. There's the other pilot, on his way back to Lena for another load. A day or so later, I flew in a team of erectors to build the derrick. By now, 3 weeks after they'd started, there were about 80 men on the site all told. As we flew the bits in, they slapped them together. And then we began to deliver drill pipe to Waipili and casing for the well. They're in short lengths, and as the well was going down some 1,500 meters and we had to take them in small batches, we were kept busier than ever. We acted as pack horse and bellhop and crane and goodness knows what else besides. And almost before we knew it, the drilling rig was climbing out above the treetops. What had been an experiment to begin with turned out a great success. And what's more, we'd lifted everything in without a single serious accident. They spudded in on schedule. The bit there's just starting her journey down. Whether they would strike oil or not, of course, we didn't know. As a matter of fact, it turned out to be a dry well, so the lot had to be taken to pieces and lifted out to try somewhere else. But the important thing was that the helicopters had saved an enormous amount of time and energy. Just so long as drilling goes on out in the impenetrable jungle, we'll be around.